We are going behind the story with your reporter Kelly Worthman about a story she first covered 10 years ago. That's when a wealthy rancher in Weld County went above and beyond to support a teenager whose father was a sheriff's deputy and was killed in the line of duty. Now, a decade later, Kelly was invited to the rancher's property for a very special reunion.
Tanner.
Hey, how are you?
A garage-turned-man cave
God, you look great.
was the perfect setting for a reunion 10 years in the making.
Let's go have a seat over here.
Yeah.
For these three men to look back on a night that forever changed their lives.
When I gave you that card, that look on your face that night,
Yeah.
that was worth everything to me.
2,500, 25.
It was May 13th, 2015.
40 now, 41.
A large crowd filled the room at the Weld County Sheriff's Office for a special auction to buy a retired patrol car.
20,000.
This is a lot for a 19-year-old.
Then 19-year-old Tanner Brownlee had saved up hard-earned cash in hopes of making the highest bid so he could own the white Dodge Charger that his dad, Deputy Sam Brownlee, had used before he was killed in the line of duty.
60 now, 62 and a half.
But Tanner was quickly outbid
$60,000.
by a rancher standing in the back of the room
Sold it your way, Mr. Steve Wells.
We tried.
who had a plan of his own.
Here's your card.
It was a moment and inspiring story that touched hearts all around the world
Well, I still get Facebook messages all the time.
and created a special bond between Tanner, Steve Wells, and Sheriff Steve Reams, or the Steves, as the now almost 30-year-old affectionately calls them.
That's what I call them, the Steves.
You did good.
As they reflected on the auction and the many joyrides Tanner took in his dad's car before it couldn't drive anymore,
You know, you drove it like a young kid would drive it. You
Yeah,
went out
I
and
sure
had fun
did.
and
Yeah, I
spun
sure
it out a
did.
few times.
Yeah,
Maybe the front bumper
sure
a little
did.
bit.
their conversation took a turn.
I'll be honest, having you out here today is a little bit for me, as well as you.
Meeting here wasn't just so the three men could reminisce about the last decade. Little did Tanner know the Steves also had something special planned.
About 6 months ago, when we started talking about this, I found out Steve had bought the car for me, that the car was wore out.
And in a way that only Steve Wells can, he gifted Tanner a surprise close to his heart.
I'd like to give you that car.
Oh, I cannot do that.
Yes, you can.
A 2016 Dodge Hellcat with only 14,000 miles, tuned and shined up by the hands of the sheriff.
Tanner, it's 10 years old.
Yeah, and I'm 30, and I'm going to cry right now because I can't take this.
Yes, you can.
No,
Yes, you can.
no, that's cool.
Seeing Tanner smile yet again
can't.
brings immeasurable joy to Steve Wells,
It's very priceless.
who first told me 10 years ago why generous gifts like this are because of a special gift he was given.
I'm adopted. And being adopted, you have a different perspective on life. I look back, I could have been raised in foster care. My mother could have had an abortion. I mean, there were so many different things that could have happened during the course of my life. And I've always felt that need to give back.
That includes giving back to Colorado law enforcement, he says, especially families of fallen officers.
There's a lot of us out there that still care about them and still want to help and still do things for them.
As for Tanner, this unexpected gift isn't about a new set of wheels or a generous amount of gas money. Rather, it's about gaining the kind of family he thought he lost for good.
I really don't have too many father figures in my life. And having, both the Steves, it feels really good.
Keep an eye on the tires.
Okay.
And
yeah.
treasuring this moment in a garage-turned-man cave that once again changed lives for the better.
Well, thank you.
It's all that matters. That's all.
my,
That's all that matters, my friend.
And Kelly joins me now. I've seen this story about 3 or 4 times, and I still get emotional every time that I watch it. I wonder what it was like for you to be reunited with those guys a decade after you did the initial story.
It was wonderful, to put it in one simple word. It was a lot of fun seeing each other for the first time, for at least for me, in 10 years, seeing these guys, seeing how much we've changed. But being in the room when I once again knew the surprise that was coming and Tanner didn't, I mean, that happened twice, right? First in 2015 and then this year. And just kind of holding that in and realizing, oh my gosh, what's he going to say? What's he going to do? And once again, Steve Wells did such a great job of, I think, just being pure to himself and being pure to how he wants to support people. And he was so honest with Tanner with why he wanted to give him this car. And it just was really special and wonderful to witness it all.
Steve, just an incredibly generous man.
Yes.
Let's talk about the car for a minute if we can, because it's an absolutely beautiful car.
Yeah.
You mentioned it, a Dodge Hellcat. I know that Tanner had some reservations about actually taking the car. He did take it. So what is he doing with it now?
Okay, so he didn't take it that day that we met out there at Steve's ranch because it was pouring down rain. And why would you want to drive out on the dirt roads in that beautiful car?
Got to protect that baby.
You got to protect it. You don't want to get mud in those wheels and those tires. So he has since driven it home. And a few things that he's done, I've been texting with him, is the same thing he did the night that he got his dad's car, which is he drove for hours listening to 80s music, just connecting with his dad on that level because his dad loved 80s music. So he says he hasn't been taking it to top speed. He's a little hesitant because let's be honest, that Hellcat can go quite fast. I won't share how fast the sheriff drove in that vehicle. But speaking of the sheriff, Tanner says, with the bond that he has with Sheriff Steve Reams, is he's taking him out for a spin as well so that they can continue to bond in that car.
I just love everything about this story. And you're right. It's one thing for the sheriff to take it top speed, maybe for another to Tanner to do it just in case. Kelly, thank you so much for taking us behind the story and wonderful reporting. So great to see it come full circle even a decade later.
Can I make a quick note?
Absolutely.
Because I did get comments about this in the story as well. You probably saw the black cat.
Leslie?
Yes, Leslie is the cat's name. And the sweet cat was underneath the Hellcat when Tanner started it for the first time. And you probably saw the cat just go running right into the wall. Leslie is fine.
Good.
While I was there, I made sure of it. So she is just fine.
Oh, that's great, Kelly. Thank you. You can see Kelly's original story and all of her coverage as your reporter in Aurora on our website, cbscolorado.com.